said, I only come out to do the shank, he said. He said, because you're a nice guy, I want all the best, mate. Jumped in the car, fuck off. I mixed it, I went, what the fuck has happened?
Wow.
So welcome to the Riff Room podcast. We're joined today by Glenn Sledge Williams.
Yeah, AKA.
So how would you introduce yourself?
The one and only Glenn Sledge Williams.
Yeah.
No, just, Glenn Sledge Williams is sort of a name that's come through the gym and it's sort of stuck. Like, I'm a firm believer, everyone needs like an alter ego, and mine is the Sledge. Like.
Okay, so where did that come from? When did that start?
So, Franco and everyone I supposed to say it's because it's so hard, but we all know it's fucking not. And then everyone, like, people think it's because I'm thick, but then when they speak to me, like, you're not thick, where did it come from? And as it goes, I was chatting with the mats in a gym years and years ago as a boy from a gym, trained with us. We saw a key on a Friday and going to circuits. And I didn't know, he'd never swung a sledgehammer before. And he put a sledgehammer through a fucking brand new mat. Oh. And I had to blame for it. Oh, that's a Sledge. There's one of them. Oh, Sledge, oh. And it was coming Kevin Rob Cox. They started it. And it stuck. So in my head, when I started fighting, I wanted my name to be Glenn the Warrior Williams. Right. And I was laying in the bar thinking, and then fucking Glenn the Sledge, like. But like, they're like, no, that's not happening. And it did start as Greedy Glenn Williams, because I'm a greedy bastard. Okay. But like the Sledge sort of took over, and I think, I think it's sort of suits me.
It's like the best names. You don't choose, do you? I mean, you can never choose your own names.
True. I see all these people name themselves the Dragon or this, all these fucking cool names, and I go the fucking Sledge, like.
It is. Can't control it. But my nickname's Bros. People call me Bros for no fucking reason.
With a moustache like garlic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Lip Bros, like.
So when did you start MMA? Was it?
My first training session was, ironically enough, 10 years ago. I think next month we started in the old place. I started Jiu-Jitsu. I got a question for you. Yeah. What was your first role ever with? Do you remember your first role? Because I think everyone remembers their first role, and I do. Mine was with a boy called Lee Harrington. So a good boy, real good boy. Lee. And he handed my ass to me, and I'm like, all due respect to Lee, he's never known to be a fighter. Yeah. When he did that to me, I'm like, I got it in this.
Right,
like, and we'll go on to another story of how and why I started, but I remember going there and thinking, fuck me, I didn't think somebody like that could do that to me, like, and I was like, I'm bugging out. But
I opened in,
yeah. What was your first role with?
We did a beginner class. So
it's different for you lot, isn't it?
Yeah. The first proper one, the one that I can remember is Hursty. And like he kind of annihilated me. I was kind of like, it wasn't because of him, but I injured my rib. Yeah. And I was out for 6 weeks after that first one. It wasn't that one roll. It's a combination of everyone. I wouldn't stop. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, from this one to the next person to the next one. It's like, fucking hell, at the end of it, I couldn't move my arms, driving home shaking, like couldn't breathe. Yeah. 6 weeks I was out. That's why I bought those mats then for a year. So like, I could do like movement and stuff, and like just shitty little stuff with Felix and that. But yeah, that was my first one that I can remember.
What about you?
Scott. Yeah. It was Scott, because I went to the open mat on a Friday, and I just, I went in my shorts and t-shirt, and he just laid down on his back. He's like, all right, you get on top. I just again, what the fuck have I walked into?
He came on a Sunday, didn't you?
It was either Friday or, I came on a Sunday down
the gym, down Vitality,
Yeah, Vitality. But I came to the Friday one first, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
But I've just fallen in love with it, like doing.
Oh,
and I can't wait to just get better and better.
The old cheesy cliche, people say, like, changes lives. It changed my life, like. Yeah. Because for me, like, there's no secret about my past, about I was always partying. You've seen a state of me when I used to come watching the bands. I used to follow all the local bands. I love local bands. And don't get me wrong, I like going out now, but I'm not that guy anymore. Like. And I was $8,000 in debt. I was partying every weekend, living in my sister's box bedroom. And I heard my brother slagging me off to my sister, saying, "You used to be proud of me, now he's ashamed of me." Right. And so I fucking angry. So I said, right, I got to do something about it. So I started fighting, started training, and then and like literally Jiu-Jitsu made me focus. Kev Cox told me, he said, "You want me to take you seriously? Lose weight, stop partying. I'll refrain from what else he said stop doing." And he said, and fucking keep going. So I went sober for 5 months. I done 7 Jiu-Jitsu comps, and then you're like, you're ready to fight now. And then I paid my debt off. I saved money to buy my own house. I moved out of my sister's bedroom, all from Jiu-Jitsu. Like. I know it's a fucking old cheesy, sad cliche, but it fucking did change my life.
Yeah. The sobriety as well.
And my second fight, my brother put a post then saying, I tell him when I'm ashamed of him, but I'm proud of him again now.
That's it. That's respect.
And my brother's my life. Like, I love my brothers.
Yeah.
How many brothers have you got?
2 brothers and a sister.
I think I taught one on guitar years ago. I'm sure I remember.
Ryan, younger brother. That's him. That's him.
Okay, all right.
Me and him are real close. Like, my older brother, Geraint, he's 10 months older than me, looks a bit like me.
Yeah.
But we used to be close. He's a chef, yeah. He just come back in a scare.
Yeah.
But yeah, my younger brother, me and him are very close.
Yeah, just much like little things like that can completely change your life. Like,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Imagine if you didn't say that.
Exactly. And another one, I know I'll go a bit deep. My boy Jack, right, he says to me, about 18 months ago, he's all chatting now, he's like, Dad, why is Jiu-Jitsu the best therapy? He said, if everyone that does training, say every training is a therapy. I go fishing, he said, it's a therapy. And I didn't have an answer for him, right? And then about 2 days later, I'm in a bath, laying in the bath, and I've had a cunt of a day.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah.
I've had a cunt of a day, right? And I'm like, gone training, I come back, I'm empty. And I've rung him. I said, I got your answer. He said, what? I said, when you go fishing, I said, you had a bad day, you argued with missus or kids. I said, you go fishing, you're still thinking your argument with the kids. You've got money problems, you're still thinking money problems. You go and lift weights, you're still thinking your problems. If I go to Jiu-Jitsu, I'm only thinking of Jiu-Jitsu. I said, because if I don't think of anything else but Jiu-Jitsu, I'm getting choked.
Yeah,
I said, I come out to Jiu-Jitsu with my mind empty, because the last hour, I've only thought of Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. My problems are gone, and he's gone, Dad, mind blown. He said, it's a bit deep, like, 18. But it's right, because you want to go to Jiu-Jitsu, in rugby, in between rucks, you're still thinking, oh, fuck, I got to go, I got to sort that out now. Or, in Jiu-Jitsu, how many times in Jiu-Jitsu you drill and you thinking of something else? It's not. You're thinking of how I can catch you in a sub, or how I can get your hand off my neck. Or, it's your only thought for that
survive,
hour and a half.
Survive or dominate, like.
Yeah.
I find like the longer I've been doing it, the more the quicker the step ahead I'm thinking of. Like before, I was like, right, just get through this. But now it's like, okay, I get the underhook, or like grab this, move that, stop
step
this.
by step.
Yeah, smaller steps. Like
I think I've done pretty much full circle now, because a few years ago, if you would watch me in Norm row, it's like Norm would be waiting for my arm on the 7th step before me, and I've always thought I've been pretty good to stand there, whichever level I am. And Norm was always like, if I'm like pulling your arm, I know you're going to push back, so like you just give me a triangle. Or if I'm putting your hand there, I know your other arm's coming. So you're 2 or 3 steps.
Yeah.
Norm knows my 5th, 6th, 7th step, or did. Now, if you watch me, Norm, he's either really quick or beats me to the first move, rather than thinking 6 or 7 moves ahead. Yeah. So we're quite boring and slow now in terms of it's one move and stop. It's one move and reaction, rather than thinking 4, 5, 6, 7 steps ahead. You know what I mean? Yeah. And me and Franco, we just sit there like, I don't know, we don't fucking move. He knows my game inside out, and I know his.
It's like chess today.
Yeah, he taught me. I probably am not exaggerating. I've had more than 1,000 rounds of Franco.
Wow, fair play, you know like.
And somebody that fucking got down on your leg.
I haven't rolled with him yet. And like, him and Big O's are the ones like, I'm thinking, give it like another year or 2.
Oh, I should jump in. Like, nice. Nice.
With all due respect, I'd rather roll with Big O's now than I would with Norm and the 2 Lloyds.
Yeah. Is it?
I struggle with speed, mate. I struggle with speed, and like on Thursday with advanced sparring, and I did more than held my own with everyone. And the only one I struggled with, Little Lloyd. His speed and his transitions, I just can't keep up with them. Like
legs as well, he just gets in places.
If I don't go for your legs, I can hide my legs. But when they're that quick on them, you're just like, oh well.
So you were saying about Norm, right? A few weeks ago, I was doing some stuff with Half Yard, like, and he showed me the Ezekiel, like, do you mean? So I rolled with Norm then, and I was in mount, and I was behind him, and I started with the Ezekiel. He couldn't even see what I was doing, and he just went, the Ezekiel. Do you mean? He just knew what I was going to do, like, do you mean? And it's cool. I find that amazing that, like, he didn't even see what I was doing, but he just knew.
Of course,
do you know what I mean?
Oh, but that's the whole thing, it's trickery, like, it's trying to hide or try and chest, make you move onto my move. But, like, you did it in a gi now, yeah?
Yeah, gi, yeah.
My favourite now is Ezekiel with no gi. And I'm doing it from everywhere.
Yeah,
and
I
have no one. Yeah. And like, all drive to race my DAS, you defending a DAS, but not seeing my second hand come in from Ezekiel, like, and that's my favourite thing in a minute. Because everyone knows me now, all I do is write in the next, I think I'm going to DAS him, because I've fucking lived off a DAS for the last 8 years.
About that. Would you, like, with us, like, being a bit kind of newer to it, would you recommend just getting good at one thing?
So, when I'm coaching as well now, when I'm helping somebody, for me, I build like find your best position. So it would be you're rolling off your back, so it's probably hard for you.
Yeah.
So tends to be people my style or ask me to help them. Usually my style. So say it's top mount. What's your worst position? Bottom half guard. So I'll try and go from your worst position to your best position in minimum effort, minimum moves. So like basically if you can shrimp, create a dogfight, get on top and pass in 3 moves, you've gone from your worst position to your best. In between all that, the more you do that, you will see entries for everything else. Like my started was a guillotine, I guillotine everyone. And everyone defending a guillotine started to give me the das. And then obviously, if I can get from my worst position, which Norm used to drill with me all the time, I was terrible off my back. So if you pin me on my back, you basically win a fight. In MMA, jits, I was terrible. So I'd go from simple shrimp, 1 move, dogfight, 2 moves, knee tap. I'm now going from my worst position to dominant position in 3 moves. So and then like the more I was doing that, like I wouldn't even get the second move. I'm like, fuck, I can sub him from you. Like the neck is there again, or I could switch and take it back from you. Not that I'm a back fighter, but you know, so if you can build one simple game plan, the more you are live doing that, everything else will open itself up. And the more you're rolling with your Norms and Frangos, or taking your back positions, you will familiar yourself, like you'll get that dogfight. You go, oh fuck, Norm took my back from you yesterday. I'm going to try and do it on on Sean. You know what I mean? So loads of little things you can do just by drilling. You were worst to best positions in.
That's cool.
Yeah, so like with your MMA career, like, what's that like being an MMA fighter? Like
at the time, like I didn't know where it was ever going to go, like, but I'm a fuck up for proving people wrong.
Okay.
So when I first started, you had people were talking, you'll never fight on Cage Warriors. The best people only fight on air. So then I fought on Cage Warriors. I'll never fight for a title, and I fought for a title. I went to do IMAF. I never get an IMAF team. It's all fucking clicky. I went to IMAF. I shouldn't have, but I turned pro. Loads of different reasons, loads of different speculations. But I didn't want to come when I turned pro. I was offered 5 lesser fighters. I said no to them all. The only time I've said no to fights was because I thought I could beat them easy. And we said yes to Aratiba, who was now in the UFC, and he was a fucking monster. I wanted to see whatever I was at, where I was at, and why. And I think that will always be my claim to fame now. I've beaten some days in the UFC, but at the time, that first round, I was fucking thinking against it. I'm like, fuck, what have I done? It was just 3 minutes. I'm like, cracking out. Somebody clocked me out for fuck's sake.
I tried MMA last week for the first time. It's like a new thing, and it's like mad.
Reese started a little bit before me, and I think he had his debut fight after my first one. And if you got to fucking make an example of somebody who you get out where you put in this Reese, always the first in the gym. Me and him was always the first in the gym. Reese, you wouldn't hear him talking in the gym, just taking in everything. He was a fucking model teammate, a fucking brilliant. And I'm so glad he's doing so well, because there's no one else that deserves it more than him. Like, because he always put the work in, mate. And you'd find his weaknesses. He'd be working, he'd be trying. He wouldn't go to the gym and do his favourite thing on me every day, like I dash everyone, but he'll go, if he got something to work on, he'll be working on that around us, live sparring and live training. He's just a brilliant teammate resource.
Yeah, great. I've been having lessons with him, coaching lessons with him since pretty much about 3 months after I started, and like I love it, doing. He's really good, you know, 1-to-1, and I was having him with Dylan as well, like doing the villain.
Dylan the villain.
And it's great. It's nice to like do the classes and then have the privates or whatever, just so you can fucking learn more, like doing, and hopefully it sticks.
For me, I'm not sure if Reese is the same as me. It's probably easier for Reese and better for students if he's training 2 at a time, because alright, he's showing you stuff 1-on-1, but you need to see the setup, see what he's doing. It's great feeling him, but like you need to be able to go, look, show me that again. Oh fucking hell, I didn't realise it didn't leave go your hand.
That's it. He's got like a live live person there.
You get different reactions from different levels as well. Like Reese would react differently to me. You know? If you're coming at me, I'd react completely differently.
That's really important, the progression for me, because like I said earlier about the first, second, and third reaction. Like I know if I'm on top of you and I push your arm for an Americana, you've only just started, you're not going to bring your other arm into play to defend it. You're just going to give me the Americana next, because you know what you're doing. Now, if you're probably a 2-3 stripe white belt, then you were probably going to come over that second arm to hold it, but you just give me the arm bar. Now, if you're a blue belt, purple belt, if you're coming over, you're probably going all the way over and give me your back for other options. So you've got to try and gauge how good they are
just
as well.
Just from the back.
That's what I find, like Roman Norm, I'm choosing what he's going to sub me with.
I don't know, for the last I'm not so much now, but about 2 years ago, anything Frango taught me to do with him, I wouldn't do. Because I know he's telling me to defend that arm because there's someone else there. Oh, you got me in a choke. Right, what have I got to do? You got to push my elbows up. I'm like, fuck you. He's like, push your elbows up. I'm like, no, because if I push my elbows up, my arms are up here, and you're going to take my arm home. Not a chance.
Exactly. I rode a Frango once. I think like before Christmas and stuff, you know, like I got that fucking stupid ward thing. Like they were all rolling with me, like I was wondering what was up. Like so it's the only time I rolled with him properly. Like then there's arm bars everywhere. Like you'll be really, you touch him, he's taking your arm. Like
that's just putting me off going with him. Like as soon as you put an arm out, you just fucking like.
But the thing is, you can't be too tentative. You just go in there, like whatever happens, learn from it. You know?
Rule of thumb, right? And I think without fucking blowing my own trumpet, I think I progressed quite quick as well, because if somebody caught me in a sub, I wouldn't stay away from my sub. Straight away, I'm doing exactly the same again so I can recognise the setup. Because I remember asking Rob Cox once. I said, Reese always catch me in triangles. I said, how can I get a triangle? He said, easy, don't get in there. I'm like, don't get in there. How do I not get in there? Remember the setup. So Reese's favourite setup, he'd control one wrist and then he'd put his knee inside my elbow and fight the thing. So I can stop Reese controlling that wrist rather than fighting to get out of it and stop the setup. So I'm like, right, every time I'd get caught in a sub now, especially a guillotine, I'd remember the setup. And as soon as I recognise that setup, I'd abandon whatever I'm doing and defend. You know what I mean? So rather than defending when I'm there, I'll defend the step before.
That's the thing. I find with a lot of people, I think it was Will earlier on I was wrong with. I was going for a triangle. I had his wrist down. I was going to kick my leg through and grab it. He knew, like, you know what I mean? He knows what I'm thinking. I think reading mind. Like, just stop that. Just stop. Something little he did. Stop my knee coming through. Oh, it's killed that. He's just passed me.
Will is high level, mate.
And I love Will. But, like, you know, the better people are, the safer I feel. Do you know what I mean? Like,
1,000,000%. Like, and for me, like, people think I'm showing off sometimes when I say, like, I've got you know, tap. They're like, oh, he's just being a dick. I'm not being a dick, because if it was a bit less a guy on me, and they got me, they're going to slam it on just to get a tap. So I'm pre-warning, look, I know much pressure, but I've got you, like, ready, here it comes. But they think I'm just showing off now. He knows he can tap me, look, oh, here it go.
I think with the feet, you've got to be careful, and you've got to say that, because you don't feel it coming on. Like, with arms, I'm on chokes, I'm tightening, they're going to tap at some point. But, like, with feet, sometimes they don't.
So I watched a clip with Brett Johns a couple of years ago, and it's spot on. You should do catch and release, and I do catch and release with legs. If I got your leg, I'll warn you. If you're still fighting, then I'm going to put it on. But like he said, with an armbar, you got my arm, so it's pain, snap or tap. He said, with the legs, it's different. It's pain, snap. Sorry, it's snap first, then pain. After, you got no warning. Straight away, as soon as it's on, there's no leeway, there's no stretching, it's pain.
I found that, like, my right ankle popped a couple times and someone had a toe holder on, I tapped straight away. It hurts now, like.
When you go people trust, like your Wills, like your Norms, as soon as they got them, say yes, keep going, just keep an eye, so you know your tolerance, because there's lots of little ways, when you get, they do get it, you can hide your feet a little bit better, but which, unless you can't get confident in your sparring partners looking after you, you're not going to be able to learn these little tricks.
I know
you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So, you said you competed a lot in, like, Jiu-Jitsu and obviously MMA.
Stupid fact for you, I think I'm on a 15 match win streak.
Oh, really? Since when?
Man. Since my last loss was to Mikey Kroll's cousin Dave Kroll. I'll fucking kill you. And in 2017.
Okay.
I haven't competed that much since, because I concentrated on MMA for 2 years. And then since I've done 2 comps of blue belt in 2 divisions each. I've done a comp, a purple belt, and a sub only. So I think it's 15 matches altogether.
Oh, okay, cool.
Fair play.
So I was going to ask, what your mindset for it, like, how do you, I don't know, because I find, like, MMA people that I spar with are different, like, you know, there's a different, I can feel it. It's like, there's more
grit and determination. And I get it. Like, you roll with Struan and you roll with Lloyd Arfield. Lloyd Arfield is very, very good in technical jiu-jitsu grappler. Struan's a grappler for MMA. Like, he doesn't seem as, with all due respect to both of them, don't seem as attacking based on skill set as Lloyd, but to push Struan away, you got to try a fucking lot harder than what you have when you got Lloyd. You know what I mean? Even though the skill set, Lloyd's, when Lloyd's setting stuff up and moving, it feels like he's moving a lot better and fluid than Struan. But with Struan, his fucking grit and to beat and get a sub out of him, you got to fucking proper go like.
I haven't rolled through him, but I find it like
class.
with the MMA people I have sparred with, it's like it feels like it's life or death for them. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes
turning blue like.
yeah. I know. Like, is that something you've always been able to kind of switch into, or
always the same? It's rugby. And that's my massive background is rugby. And
with Calava, is it?
No, mate, Abraham Quinns.
Right.
I've done a bit for Stars as well with you, mate, Kev.
Yeah.
And back in one too. I've done a few clubs as younger ages, but they're my clubs. Like I still say Quinns now.
It's quite common in it that like to make transition from rugby to jiu-jitsu.
No, I'm glad you said that. Right, because when I started, there was one person in the gym bigger than me, ex-rugby, Big Tony. Right.
Okay.
Now I think there's about 13 boys in the gym all ex-rugby. So I did media for MMA UK for a bit through lockdown. So I'd done a few articles. Tried finding a sort of link between rugby going soft and players leaving rugby for fighting. So I tried to interview a few. I sort of fabricated a bit of a false story. Well, not a false story. Like I was interviewing fighters saying, did you leave because it's going soft? But I feel everyone who plays rugby plays for the rough side of the game, plays because you can have a scrap, plays because you can smash people.
Yeah.
But now you're not allowed to be that tough guy anymore. But in rugby, like they've all converted to the rugby. So I was like, try getting a mix. And it wasn't, because the 4 people interviewed, 3 of them said, no, it's still play, but I'm just better to fight in. But But yeah, it was a sort. I still think it's a connection. But
it's mad. No, Alan, the one who started saying it was me.
Yeah.
Like I love rolling with him, right? Because like we both started the same day, like. And but if he got me inside control or mount, I'm fucked because he's got 30 kilos and I'm like 80.
I'm a firm believer. A good forward rugby player should be able to enter a white belt comp and do well.
Is it?
With nothing, because chances are you probably got a good gas tank. You can probably grip something for a long period without gassing. And at that standard, you get on top, you're probably going to win.
Yeah.
So 2, 4, 6 points.
Yeah, you don't need to sub.
No.
Like I didn't get subbed in my competition, but I still lost. Do you know what I mean? It's they just killed it. They killed all jiu-jitsu, like. But
So there's definitely a link here somewhere, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
And big guys was always taken up in Wales by rugby, but because these rules come in, I'm adamant. There's more big guys. All right, there's just more people in general doing jiu-jitsu and fighting now.
Yeah.
But there's way, way, way more bigger people now than what it was 10 years ago.
So what's your take on the belt system of jiu-jitsu? Have you got like from my perspective, it's changing. Like I know you're a white belt, I'm a blue belt, you're a brown belt.
Yeah.
So from your perspective, has it changed as you've improved? Like what you think it takes to be a blue belt?
Like. So for me with nails, right, I've loved nails in my club. I've even got the fucking logo tattooed on my arm, right? I love the place. But there was never any structure into what you needed to learn to get to the standard. Is that I was on a mat, like there was people who wasn't training as much as me, who's grading before me. But I've never been, and Franco sent me a video once, and this really changed my opinion. And it was by, that Jiu-Jitsu giant, Dan something his name is.
Yeah.
So he did it, and it's fucking brilliant, right? So he said, so let's use Lloyd Arfiard as a example. Lloyd Arfiard is a competition ready purple belt, and he's a fucking very good purple belt, right? He's probably putting it on brown belts or black belts. Does it mean he's black belt? No. It means he is not the potential purple belt. He could be. He could compete at very good standard competitions at purple belt now and do very well. Would he be the same standard if you put him a brown belt on his waist now? Probably not. But he's still got that potential to be that level purple belt. So what he's saying is, even though there's people who you might say a black belt, well, they're not really a black belt. Was they the best brown belt they could have been? Yes, then put a black belt on the waist.
Yeah.
Is he the best blue belt he can be? Well, yeah, then put a purple belt on the waist. If he got more to offer at blue belt, keep him a blue belt. If he got more to offer at purple belt and can still got more to improve to be the best purple belt he can be, keep him a purple belt. If he can't possibly improve any more as a purple belt, then promote them, you know what I mean? And when you looked at it, I'm going, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, I do get it like that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things to take into consideration if you were running a club and you're in charge of giving people belt. I find that hard. Like, I think I'd find it really
Well,
difficult.
I am now. I got my little club where I'm working away.
Yeah, so is that the dungeon now? Do you call it
The
dungeon?
grappling dungeon. So the dungeon in Carmarthen started. So I stay on a camp called Mill Farm, working away. And there's another guy that's started training with me now and does a bit of coaching. And Anthony Son does his class, he's very good. And when we started talking about promotion, like he's like, so he's starting Gracie Barra, and they've got a syllabus they've got to follow.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And so when he started coaching, I let him pick over the coaching, and he done his beginner syllabus, and he was showing stuff in that syllabus I've never done.
Okay.
Right?
That's what I need, like, yeah.
So for me, I'm like, that's missing. But the thing with Nails is, it's never been a business. Gracie Barra has always been money-driven business.
Yeah.
So they
Uniforms
do this, right. Once you do all this, then you can pay us money to have this belt.
Yeah.
Once you do all this and all that, and you've coached, you miss 2 sessions, you've got to have one-to-one with that coach before you can move on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's never been about that. It's about potential and hours on the mat, put it in, and you will see rewards. And that's, in my opinion, how most gyms would be.
Yeah.
All right, it's good to know the first 8 basics and simple stuff, which you will pick up rolling anyway. You know what I mean?
No. I think, I don't know, Neil seems to put more effort on, like, actual being good at jiu-jitsu rather than being good on paper, you know?
Yeah,
Like, I know these things. Like, does it work? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know, as a white belt, right, but like, and the way my mind works, I wish there was a fucking checklist.
That's what Fitness Dan said.
Is it?
Yeah,
I'd like it to be like, right, learn these first 10 things. Do you mean? Once you've got them, go on to the next 10 things. Not like you said, like the syllabus.
So why can't you do it yourself?
Well, I can.
Why can't you do a bit of research, find out what the beginner should know, and take them off yourself?
I can do that.
Because me telling you you've learned them, and then it should be no different in your head. If you,
I see what you mean,
if you were shrimping and sweeping him, right, that's a good sweep, take it off the list.
Yeah.
If you are double legging him from your feet, someone who's a little bit better than you, a little bit ahead, you can take it yourself off the list.
That you've done it like.
Right, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Right then, getting out of the guillotine. I got caught in the guillotine twice today, I got out there once. Perhaps I'll work a bit harder on that. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the step before. Right, I know we went for a guillotine, but I recognise they stopped. Take that off the list.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You can do it all this yourself. And your progression in, even though you think like you were taking it off and you haven't lived it, other people will see it.
Yeah, the only issue with that, go on. The only issue I've got with that, like, I completely get what you mean, and that's a good idea, actually. I might get a journal.
Sometimes in training, I'll go to training, right, I'm going to sharpen my game today. I'll only do what I know works.
Yeah.
With the asses, your sweeps, everything. But then something right, I'm going to take as many people's back as I can today. I'll make a sub 6 times, I don't give a fuck. If I haven't taken you back, I failed. If I've taken you back, then in my head, that's a score,
win,
that's a progression. Or
yeah.
Especially somebody's back where I've taken G's back, I think 2 weeks ago, first time ever. And you swear I won a fucking lottery.
Yeah.
Fucking yes! Right? But, you know, little wins like that, I'll never choke them from his back. You know, that you're talking a good year of progression for me to even get close to that.
Right.
All right then, you're talking about 100 back ticks for me to be able to sub him once from his back. But getting there was a win for me because I know I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
Did you see the thing with Dan Strauss and stuff for choking G in the university thing?
Yeah.
It's fucking mad, like
They was all in that oxygen chamber.
Yeah, the fucking hyperbolic fucking time change.
Is that when he wouldn't go, is it?
His resistance to being choked was fucking phenomenal, apparently.
Right.
Like
Was it?
nothing else. Yeah.
Yeah, at altitude as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could see it on the screen, like when the blood was being taken out, and there's just no blood. Do you know what I mean? They're going to say, just like,
Turn for Michael Myers, like.
that's fucking mad. And they reckon, well, I think Dan Strauss was saying, because there's so many people in Nails training with G that take it back and choking him so much, everyone's kind of bigger than him and stuff over the years. His resistance is just fucking...
Kev always says, gee, I've got a neck. and Kev is a different animal again.
They don't train very often.
No, unreal, mate. Unreal. For somebody so small, it feels like fucking 3 of me on top of you.
Do you know, I said to G the other day that I started reading the Jiu-Jitsu university book, like, and he was like, oh, fucking classic that is. And he said, oh, have a look at the Stephen Hawking. I was like, oh, what's that? And he said, just like this, right? And he said that's what he's done most of his life. He said, like, with Jiu-Jitsu, he just tucks his neck in, like.
Oh, mate, I watched one little fucking 9 times out of 10, if you take my back, I'm pretty good at hiding my neck anyway. I'll just rest there, I'll let you gas out training, and I'll get on top again. But I watched a simple technique the other day. So obviously try and get spine or centre lines the first thing anyway. We always say get shoulders to the mat. But a guy said, do a backstroke. So come off centre, with your own delt, do a backstroke. So if I'm hiding one half my neck with my own, you've only choking the other eye. Like, so then, rather than like, you can carry on turning in, but as long as you're always hiding that, they can't choke you. I'm like, mind blown. but it is good. But again, like 9 times out of 10, you imagine Norm on my back and me giving my arm straight like that. It's like he's taking a country.
I know exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the thing. I took batches back before, and I don't know what he did, but
Kimura do.
What?
Kimura do.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's good like that.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy like that.
He's not. Oh well, congratulations, Batch, by the way.
Yeah, congrats, Batch.
Yeah, he won't be training for a bit, I think, will he?
I think he's coming back next week.
Really?
He's still trying a session or two.
Yeah.
You know, he's the same as me. He needs jiu-jitsu for his
Yeah,
mental health. And you know, it's going to be hard on his wife, who was, you know, a lovely lady who puts up with him training like an absolute fucking savage. But
yeah, hopefully he's really tired, and then a chance, like.
A tired batch will still do a job on most people.
Imagine all the newbies start talking about like.
I don't think I'd Latin.
No.
It's funny running with him because he's got like levels to it.
Yeah.
It's like when I was a white belt, he said, "Oh, you did really well," and you just completely annihilated me. He said, "Yeah, but I had to use my blue belt stuff." Do you know what I
mean? What's mental, right? Is so I met Batch a few years ago at a bit of a thing, and I left Nails to go to KGB. Which is more of a striking gym, but I started training with Chris Batch. And with all due respect, like me and Batch was like the only ones who subbed each other, apart from Dai, the coach there. Dai, the coach is brilliant, but no, you know, he wouldn't roll as much as me and Batch. So we left there. I took him back to Nails. I said, "You've got to come to Nails." It's full of big guys, it's full of different levels. He was training my dungeon with me through lockdown. Obviously, with all the rules in place and stuff. But, because he's a doctor and he was the Batch. He couldn't train properly. He wasn't allowed. But anyway, he's training with me in my dungeon. And without sounding like an asshole, I was probably a lot better than him, you know. And if you're seeing us roll now, and if you could see what I was doing to him then, it's fucking mental. If our better standard of gym has made him the fucking animal he is now, because he has come on so much. Like it's mad. Like obviously he had the big guy strength, and you know we'd go for it. But technically, I showed him a hell of a lot in my dungeon. But now. The stuff I'm showing him, he's broke down, he's worked out the angles, and he's given it back to me as mental definitive info because of how clever he is, and how much he really study everything he's doing. You know, the moment he's come on is unreal.
That's I find like the higher levels, you kind of got to do that. I think, like even if you're not consciously aware of it, you do it so much that you just understand it more.
Yeah, only recently I've started like. I've always read books, always read autobiographies, but now I'm reading stuff to better my mind and seeing different how other people think. I'd never take that as, you know, first class. I would put my own spin on everything, but only now I'm reading stuff which will help better me and things like that. So I do get it. But
yeah. So you mentioned it like helping your mental health and stuff. How does it help? Do you think?
Gives me focus.
Yeah.
Because if I don't train, I want to go pub.
Yeah, okay. Distraction type thing.
But no,
you sober now? Are you have...
I did have a long stint. I'm back drinking again. Not excessively. Like last Saturday, I went a bit OTT. The first time in a long time. But the other side of it is, I know, like I don't fucking go session or anything. As for, you know, that's where I draw the line. And I watch too much what I'm saying because my stepdaughter will probably watch this. And it's too fair. But like, you know, that life is definitely gone. Like, but as for, you know, it's like I had a bad day in work and which I get fucking pissed like and you end up fucking things up yourself, don't you? But but now and again I still always have that in me, I think. But
it's good. I mean, so that's kind of everything that we've spoke about has been quite kind of like focus and aggression in it. Quite an aggressive kind of thing.
For me, right, for my mental health as well. So through lockdown, so my oldest boy, he was like my shadow for years, and he went through a bit of a bad stage at 13, like, and with all that county line shit and everything and all that. So anyway, something happened. I didn't speak to him for 2 years, and I was struggling. Like, so I went to I'm always been into my poems and lyrics and everything and stuff.
That's
and So when I went through lockdown, I wasn't sleeping. I was like fucking picturing in my head what I'm going to do with these guys that he's working for, like, and so anyway, I was with mine for 18 months. When I finally got to see the psychiatrist, we sat down. It's mad because straight away they said to me, look, so because of your fighting and stuff, so we had like a soul interview first, and I said, so what do you picture yourself doing? I said, well, finding who he works for, tying him up on a pier and leaving the tide come in. He went, okay. So the next session was, just to let you know, because of your abilities, we have to inform the police because you're a danger to yourself and others around you.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah. But anyway, after everything, and on the last session, he came up with a plan going forward. And the plan was that the words that are in my head, I've got to start writing them down again because they're in my head and there's no other place for them to go, and they keep swirling, and that's why I can't sleep. So before I go to bed, whatever bad thoughts I have, write them down, back in the poetry, back in the lyrics. So I didn't want this guy, and sent to me, he was like, fucking nice, I never expected somebody like you to be able to write something like that. So I wrote it, and it was the first night I slept 8 hours on it.
Is it?
The first night. So I crept back in, I still have your little shoes. But about 3 weeks later, Jack messaged me and said he wanted to start training with me. And I slept 12 hours.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Took me and my youngest boy down to see him, broke my fucking heart, and I come back and slept 12 hours.
Was it?
Mad,
that had been playing on your mind all that time, like?
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't escape shit like that.
No, you can't. And you can deal with them, like I said, for that hour I'm empty, they're all gone, but the problems haven't gone away.
Yeah,
they're empty.
It's not dealing with it.
It's clean, and they will creep back in. So then just go train again.
Yeah.
It's like painting over cracks, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I do the same thing now. Like I think the same way about like thoughts and stuff. You just can't.
So when your podcast I listened to the other day, I was literally going to text you, but I kept it for now.
Yeah.
My best poems and lyrics I write, like I can do them off the cuff in seconds, right? And I've always been the same. When I feel emotional, I know they're sad, I know they're a bit fucking ropey, but it's because they're there, they need to come out, and they mean them, and they're meaningful, and that's when I do the best stuff. So you could probably write your best songs before you go to bed, when you can't sleep.
Yeah, exactly. I got like a note thing, I email myself, I put an email, just talking about shit, like, and I send it to myself, I read it the next day, so it's like I'm a different person.
Yes,
then,
I know.
You know?
So you're not that emotional discharge that...
Yeah.
Do you know that I always think, like Richard Ashcroft, do you know the Verve?
Yeah.
No, I'm a million different people from one day to the next. Like, that's such a relatable thing.
Yeah.
Do you mean?
Well, look at Adele. If Adele wasn't such a shit girlfriend, she wouldn't be having number one.
That's a good point.
but like my old party trick, when in the kitchen or pissed or whatever frame of mind I'm in, I'd always say to somebody, like, give me 3 words.
Yeah.
Any 3 words. Ideally, it's better if I can relate to them or they mean something to me anew, or but then I can spin off a poem in seconds off that, like, and they're like, fucking hell, that's awesome, what is it again? Right then, trying to think of 3 hardest words, which tend to be, when they're harder words, it's easier to rhyme with,
right?
Because the more elaborate words just tend to only got 1 or 2 fucking rhyming words with them, so it's easy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Eminem now trying to rhyme orange. I've seen that video.
Yeah, I've done that.
Is it?
I can't, but I slowed it down, like orange and arrange something like I done. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So and it's easy when you're an MC to sort of break them little bridges down, and then you can chuck any spin you want to on it, man. As long as the ones before it flow in that style.
Have you done MCing and stuff, have you? Like?
No, I started like that, but writing stuff down. You guys will remember a guy called John McKenna, Johnny Rockstar from Nails.
Right.
He's from Margam.
Yeah.
He's a Birmingham son.
Did he train in Nails?
Oh yeah, class.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, Richard and John.
Yeah. So he used to always try and push me, because he used to say, like, he's a proper musician. He's fucking, you go to his house, you got every instrument you can think of. He's a player and stuff like. And he used to always give me some little talent, little fucking weird things. Like, I've always wanted to sit down with him for a couple of hours and him put music to my lyrics and stuff. Yeah. Like, we always said we was going to do it, but then we sort of drifted apart, like, because we was good friends when he was training Nails. I used to always speak to him, like. Yeah. But I always wanted to do that, because I haven't got a musical talent in my head.
Right,
in terms of lyrics and words, I'm pretty good, like.
Yeah. That's awesome to have, like.
Yeah, I guess it was a good challenge fest.
Yeah.
Give us a poem, we can write a song about it.
You are?
Give us a poem.
I've done like years ago. I've done like a rap about my dad passing away. Like, a bit sad, but it was the lyrics and stuff was good. I've done I got one on my phone actually, and I want to show on a podcast because it's a lot of info about me. And when you see, I'll read it to you after. When you read it, it probably be turned into rap if anything. But it's fucking sad. This one, everything I've been through, like basically.
Yeah.
But there's loads of stuff like that I could probably lock stuff up with, like. But
do you ever go somewhere? Because I know Reese Lilly he does the poetry thing in Avenues. Do you ever go to there?
I went once.
Yeah.
So I was seeing a girl that time, and she broke up with me. I'm on it for no reason, right? Fuck it, my phone, I was going out, went on a piss, got hammered. Messaged Lily, so I come up to the pub night. So I had no intention of reading as I went there. So I'm going to read. So Conor went, well, if he's going to read, he needs to read now, because he's fucking wrecked, like. So he went, go on. So I went up, and there's a girl left in Bristol who was outstanding. Lily was obviously good, but everyone was just, like, loved me, you know, and fucking all, because I was wrecked, right? So everyone was taking it seriously. You write these prim and proper poems and stuff, and I just fucking wrote poems about being off with tits and shagging birds and being all wanking and stuff, and everyone was fucking loving it. Have you heard my one about fuck the Tories?
I probably have. I remember when your Instagram's changed now, isn't it?
Yeah,
I remember seeing it
still on there, the fuck the Tories ones. Because Lily wrote a poem about fuck the Tories.
Yeah.
And then I sort of done like an encore to it. And I think it's Gavin, was it Gavin or somebody else? Who put a big poster with it because he loved it, you know, and done time with it, and that was good. That's probably my favourite one. I did one about being in fight camp. That's probably my favourite. The Grind is called.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I wish I had my phone, you know, I'd read it too.
Oh,
that's a good one, it is.
Yeah,
but, I think that's on my Instagram, still on my Instagram.
Yeah.
I take the loads off it though, because I won't have to be solely about Jiu-Jitsu in Milfarm, like.
Yeah.
But there's loads on it that are
if you want to read a poem, bud, grab the phone.
Sorry, it's good.
Sure. Yeah. No, it's fine.
Yeah, I think, what do you find it difficult to get up on stage and do that? Well, you pissed the time, you have been done since then or not?
So Frank, if I don't mention it, Frank will call me a pussy. Before I started fighting, I didn't like being sent to attention. I didn't like it. I had never had a birthday, never had a party, nothing was ever about me. So what I wanted to do, I wanted something to be about me. My friends come and chant my name to be one thing about me. When I walked out, they played the wrong music, and my friends were chanting so loud I couldn't hear the music. I was fucking hooked. From then on, everything got to be about me.
Yeah.
If you're on stage, I'm coming after you.
Yeah.
Like it's like now, it's like I think I'm a lot better now talking. I'm in the beginning, my first few podcasts, I was treating them like I'm being interviewed for a job. I'm like being prim and proper. No, you just got to fucking be yourself, innit?
Yeah, we're not like that. It's like you just chat.
No, exactly. And I think that's how you got to be to have a successful podcast. It's like, you just got to be yourself, and that's what I am now. And anything, even in work, if I got to talk out in front of people in work, if I got to do anything, I treat it like I'm talking to my mates.
Yeah,
so
I find it funny. I had a little giggle to myself earlier on. I think Matthew did the sweep thing, and then he put your hand up and said, "Oh, Matt, do you put your knee up his ass?" I can piss myself.
so there's a story behind that. Reece Davis, Louis through. He got a brilliant young belly, and about 18 months ago, I always let Louis work and put a bit on me. When you get to there, it's quite hard to move. So I'm like to Matt, I said, what's the best way to get out? So he's like, turn your hips, put your knee behind you and push that. I said, so knee him up your ass.
Right.
He's like, yeah. I said it in so many words. And that's my favourite. And I do everything now.
Yeah.
So if you notice, I'll rest. And when I'm ready, I'll knee you up your ass, send you over me, and then wrestle up on a single leg. And it's like it works for everything. So that had a bit of a thing behind it. Well, knee him up your ass, then, is it?
That's funny. Yeah, I always grab the ankle and push away and shrimp out if I can.
Yeah.
I had a successful sweep the other day. I just fucking landed.
Yeah.
Do you know earlier you said you landed somebody, you were like, fucking yes. I literally did that. I swept this boy from something Reece taught me, and as he hit the floor, you'd come up and be like, fucking yes. And I was like, sorry, but I said I didn't mean to gloat. I just said I fucking landed. Like,
yeah, first time,
you know, and that was after been training for 6 months.
I think it was this time. I'm going to say 2 years ago because it was the start of the year. So me and Chris, we set ourselves like goals, like what we think we should improve on. So for me, about 2 years ago, it was like people think wrestling is just standing on your feet and taking people down. No, I think I probably neglected that for a while, but I'm good at wrest up on a single leg and taking down. But like your big Ryan, you wrestle up on Ryan single leg, he's probably going to throw you. But like, so I was like trying to stay tight in everyone. So my goal was wrestle up on big O's and take out big O's down.
Right.
So I can imagine the first 6 or 7 times how I went. Right? So then but I kept doing it, and then he was like sort of getting up, and I wrestled up once, single legged him. I was like, fucking landed, yes. Went to do it again. As I've gone to do it again, he fucking set me in the air, right? I'm not kidding you. I can feel my feet fucking brushing the lights.
Get it in the space. Like.
Yeah, so that was a fluke, but I took it anyway. It took me about 6 months, mate. It's like, of working on that weakness.
And that was fucking class when you did it, though.
Weakness when I'm standing up, like with big O's as well. You know, he's kind of, you know, when you stand like more judo, 1 foot forward kind of thing, you going like, I get swept.
Don't know if I was as big as O's, and it's like I said to Big Chris, even though O's is a high level wrestler, which is always done single legs, it's like, even though I know he's teasing a leg forward to take a single leg, I think if he came up against somebody as big as him who had a brilliant single leg, he would get single legged, because he's using that front lead to fake a sweep so he can take you, sort of thing, but like Big Chris. But I didn't realise at the time when I said this to Chris, judo players aren't allowed to single legs or do any double leg. I think this rules are changing now. But so it makes sense of why he's used to leaving a leg forward.
But I think because they were having like wrestlers coming in and winning judo comps apparently, so they changed the rules so you couldn't grab a legs. I think it's come back now though. Yeah, you heard they sort of changing it back now. So but I like judo. I like the art of judo. Do you mean?
If like when I'm rolling with O's now, I'm trying to get him to show me you can stand there foot sweep, like this foot sweep, and it's effortless and it's no strength. So you can, like I say, if he was as strong as him, okay, but his foot sweeps don't take any energy or strength, so it doesn't really matter how fucking strong you are. Yeah,
so it's just timing, isn't it? It's really difficult to time.
Do you know, Big O's, right, is genuinely, in the flesh, the biggest man I've ever seen. Do you mean, like...
A nicest man.
I haven't really spoke to him yet, just said hello and stuff, like say I'm rolling him. He seems like a nice guy, but...
Him and Big Chris are fucking two of the nicest, gentlest men I've ever met.
Do you know, like, when he comes in sometimes, like, and he'll just be warming up, like, you know, hands on the floor, like, arse back, in like a yoga kind of position. I just look at him and think, fuck that.
I say, like, same carrying niggle, like I said, like, stay away from Rad, or stay away from Big O's today. But as soon as he's so nice and gentle, when they're all mate, I feel like you can't, because you can't say no, because you're like, oh, bless, oh, fuck's sake, why did he say yes? And the worst is like I have a really good round against him, or, you know, fucking... I think, right, that's my fucking time done today now. I'll roll a couple of others. He's calling me for a second. I'm like, come on.
I learn loads though. I learn loads rolling with those. It's like, he takes me down, I get him up again. It's like he's letting me get up. He's just always fucking standing up. Like, I learn the most by stand up.
He's a brilliant example right there. He does enough. If you act like a dick to him, he's going to be a dick back. Like, if you can match his strength and you won't, he'll put it on you. And I think... that's how gym enforcers work, is because it is like if I was being a spaz and trying to do this and trying to things, then he's going to put it back times 10. But as it is now, he's just letting you work, just letting you do enough, just showing you, the ropes. Like that's a brilliant training partner.
I know. I like it. Well, I like it. There's been a few people who just fucking, like you. I'm going into it chill now. I'm pretty calm when I'm rolling these days. But like, there's some people, if you were not meeting their intensity, you could get hurt, like, innit? Yeah. I mean, like, not the good ones, but some white belts, like...
It's always white belts. And all my, like... I do understand that sometimes I can be a bit clumsy when I up intensity, but I'm only up in that intensity because I'm matching you. So if you're whinging in the morning that it's because you were doing it back to me, you know what I mean? I like, you watch me and Big Tony. Me and Big Tony we look like, well, what we are, 2 over 40s now, just rolling, and until it comes to one of us need to panic and go to the sub-op and a sub-on. We don't tend to exert much energy. But then you get somebody in, like a 23-year-old with aspirations to compete, who thinks he's rolling in the World Cup final in the gym, like, then you've got to put up the intensity and show them who's boss sometimes, like.
Yeah, I was going to ask, you were known as Sledge now, like, everywhere. Do you mean?
Don't know what's mad. My nickname at work isn't Sledge, it's Rocky.
Right? Okay.
If you said your fucking nickname is Hammer, what?
So in the steelworks, I've always thought it's a steelworks thing for years, right? So I've gone up Linkley Point now, I'm working, and a guy, Tom, was like my boss at the time, but as a friend now. So he's saying Rocky. I said, Tom, I said, I think you only want to call me Rocky. He said, because there's no steelworks thing. He said, it's not like. I said, it is. He said, no, it's Glenn now, or Sledge, like. He said, okay. I work from a job, the canteen, and 13 people call me Rocky. So I was like, good point.
What is it? Why? Just because you're like the...
No, it was way before. I was, I thought there was a fighter then. I thought I could fight then. Yeah. But then, I think I was playing youth. I was working for Oakcord, and a guy called Mickey Darling was a bit of a old school gangster. Want to be, hey, listen, this guy, kid, what's happening, kid? Right. How's it going on? And I came to work, I had a black eye. And what happened, told him a story the night before we was in town, like, and a week later, the other eye was black. And he came in and went, oh, let me guess, fight Dylan Cameron's who? Look at this cunt, he thinks he's Rocky, look. And that was it. And that was it. I was being booked on a timesheet as Rocky Williams. Yeah. Like they didn't know my first name was Glenn for years.
Yeah.
I think that's Port Talbot though. I don't think you can grow up in Port Talbot without having a fight, do you mean? But I was going to ask, like, you know, that's a label that you've got now, isn't it? Like being an MMA fighter, has that affected, like, I don't know, the way that you deal with people, do you know what I mean? Or have you noticed people deal with you differently?
If I'm Glenn, in my head, I got to try and be nice. If I'm Sledge, I can tell it to fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm not got any consequences. Wasn't you, Sledge? Fuck you. But no,
I myself and Irene, like.
it's been good for me, right? I couldn't possibly come on now without mentioning my following. I always had a fucking massive crowd, which I'll always be grateful for. Loads and loads of sponsors were always brilliant. I literally had to cap my sponsors every fight because I chose fucking many, right? And it was always easy. You know Paddy Cullen does the Ambition, his critical podcast in Swansea.
Yeah.
So he's always been an announcer, and he always said, I always love, he said to call out the Sledge, he said, because I remember once we walked out and he made up 6 nicknames for me. He was like, don't like the Rocky fights when he was fighting Apollo Creed, and he's like the 8-time armor or whatever. He said about 6 nicknames. I can't remember the nicknames. He was like, Glenn, he is the Prince of Port Talbot, all this. I keep going, I'm fucking loving every second of it. But yeah, like, it is a good, what's the word, like slogan or marketing employee. If I wanted to keep going now, as loads of people on a fight circuit know the Sledges. If I ask them who Glenn is, they probably tell you, do you know?
Yeah.
So, do you know Glenn Williams? They probably say, no, Glenn the Sledge. Oh, that's him, man.
Yeah, no, I didn't know whether, because I never had a label like that. Like, no one ever looked at me and said, oh, that's an MMA fighter. I don't know whether it attracts the wrong kind of attention or, like being out in town and stuff. But I don't know. This is not the question.
No. I think I probably only had 2 or 3 fights in town anyway. But ever since I've learned how to fight, I've always wanted a little twat in a hoodie to have a go at me.
Is it?
Fucking always. Because I choke him unconscious of the zone within about 7 seconds. Yeah. I do Bravo choke, it'd be a fucking good night. I've always wanted to. But you tend now, there's always going to be this thing of a little kid who wants to come up, who wants to knock off your block and get you, I knocked that fighter out.
That's what I mean.
It's always going to get that, but when it comes down to it, unless it's going to be sneaky, it's never going to be a warning fight. You're never going to know what fight's going to come, because it's that little feeder, and I'm like...
Yeah. There's respect involved with what you've done, isn't it? Like, you don't become an MMA fighter without giving any person you're fighting respect.
So my absolute pet hate, you did a bit of white collar, didn't you?
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. You're the fighter, are you? A white collar, is it? No. Fuck off. Fuck all the way off. Yeah, my boyfriend's a fighter as well. He done white collar.
Yeah.
That's the white collars where they have in like Oceania.
For me, I got no disrespect to people to white collar. If that's your way of finding a focus like I did, then great. But I can't see any respect in fighting somebody you've been sparring with for 8 weeks. Just selling tickets to watch a glorified spar. Fighting for me isn't the walking in the ring or in the cage. That's not it. It's the dedicating the fucking months before to diet, to learn your trade, to learn new techniques, to actually fight, be the best version of yourself. It's why so many of my friends paid so much to come watch me fight. It's because they knew that for months before, I wasn't having a pint, I wasn't doing anything other than focusing on training. And that's the sacrifice you've got to make. And all these people who were fucking sniffing Charlie the week before, who think, I'm semi-pro now, I'm licensed fighting next week.
Right.
And then they get smashed, I got in there. Well, that's not enough. For me, just for you getting there isn't enough. You've got to dedicate months before. You got to put it in. You can't go in there and sell tickets against somebody you've been sparring with for 8 weeks and call yourself a fighter. That's not about fighting for me.
Yeah. How much training would be involved then? So like when you were training for the fights, were you still working, or was that your main focus? I was
still working. I didn't start. If I started at 20, I could have probably given up my job and gone full time.
And gone pro,
but
fully pro.
I fought 4 full time fighters.
Is it?
full-time fighters. But my training is, I'm a creature of habit. I just get up at 5 o'clock, I go in CrossFit gym in Port Talbot, by 25 past 5, 5. I leave at 6:45 for work. I do my shift, I'd walk on a pier on my dinner break. When I finish work, I'd have an hour and a half of myself doing nothing, just pottering about the house or whatever. Then I'd go trim. Like in the morning would be my cardio or strength and conditioning, and in the evening would be my skill set, working on whether it be pads, grappling, wrestling. You know what I mean? So I do. I only recently learned a thing called the traffic light system, which I wish I learned in the beginning, because do you know how the traffic light system works? So green, amber, red. If you go green, like a light chill sparring pad session, amber sort of giving half, you know, and red's balls to the wall. So after every red sesh, you'd either have a sesh off, morning off, or you know, or you'd have a green sesh, just like active recovery. Yeah. You'd never go red, amber, or red. It's always like, it could be red, rest, green. Yeah. Or red, rest, amber. So like, you should only have about 3 or 4 red sessions a week. Okay. To me, because I started so late, I thought I had to be the hardest worker. I need to put it in. So I was doing like fucking balls to the wall, fucking 8-9 times a week, like. Yeah. And then in the end, I remember training to go IMAF. I remember going training thinking, fuck, I don't want to be, you know. I just put too much into it. You know, I've gone from enjoying and being that guy that wanted to be the hardest worker in the room, in every room, to being that guy that's got to be in that room. I just didn't like that fucking feeling. But if I had followed that system, I think I would have been able to manage it properly. I never missed much through injury, but I always had an niggle, you know what I mean? And I think if I had done that in the beginning, it would have been a lot better managed.
Would you ever go in, like, just full-time coaching to, like...
No.
Is it? Like,
no,
you know,
not at all.
To kind of give someone that opportunity, like you said, like, if you was 20, like, if you've done it when you're 20, like, do you mean?
So literally, I do like coaching, but like helping people. And there's a few people I always help and point in the right direction now, by pointing them to Reese. Because everything I can offer, Reese can offer, and it's his job. There is a boy from Sledge, well, down west, but when I was coaching for Fight Project Gym in Sledge, Matt Ryan's gym, I met this Polish guy and a couple of Polish boys on it. I would love to see progress him and push him. So I've sent him to Reese now. There's, you know, there are people I wish I could help, I had more time for, but no, I don't think I'd be able to give him everything they needed, even if I was full time. So yeah, as cool as it is on paper, I don't think I could.
Is it? Yeah,
I don't think it'd be beneficial to the person, and that's, you know, if I was making money from it, great, I could lie and say I can offer you everything, but I couldn't, I wouldn't be able to. So.
It's good to be honest about it, like too many people are not honest about that. Do you know what I mean? They'll fucking sell anything. Do you know what I mean?
No, mate, I can promise you now, right, every single one of my sponsors, I believed in. These people who had contradicting sponsors, they're like 3 Sparkies. I had a Sparky company sponsor me once, and my mate's company who did a job for me who I had to. That was the only time I've ever had 2 concepts, you know.
Oh, I got you.
All my sponsors, I'd either use them to work in my house, or use their products. You know, I wouldn't just have them because they're giving me money or they're fucking doing stuff for me. Just for the sake of it, I'd never ever sell myself out. Yeah. You know, like, I've had to come off Facebook, right, because I struggle to read something and go, oh, they're full of shit, and keep scrolling.
Right, okay, yeah.
I'll tell them they're full of shit. Yeah. Because, like, for me, right, I remember reading something once that said, oh, sorry, I haven't been online in a while. My mental health is playing up. Like, mental health. I seen different keys on the toilet on Saturday.
Right.
And like, for me, right, like I said, right, I'm not that person anymore. Everything I've done, but the hardest part for me, or the best thing for me, was learning the difference between a calm down and depression. Like, I've struggled from depression, still do now. But it's worse now because I haven't got anything to blame it on. If you're out partying with your mates all weekend, and then you're going to have a bad day Thursday or Friday, as a side effect, going to be thinking dark thoughts, you're going to be in a bad place. So I'm not going to go on social media and say, oh, sorry, my mental health is fucking up. When you can okay with thinking, oh, you know what, I'm actually okay. It's just alcohol talking, or it's my late weekend talking. Yeah. It's the 4 or 5 weeks of no alcohol, clean eating. When you're walking and you've got a dark cloud following you, then if anyone's watching this, you have that, then it's time to get help. Because I hate not having the reason for my thoughts, not having anything to blame on. Now, if I'd have had, might have an argument with my missus, I know I'm going to have a bad few days or whatever, because she's my go-to now, she keeps me in check, you know what I mean? So that is going to be, but if everything's okay with her, everything's okay with my kids, my job is great, I'm still having dark thoughts and still having a dark cloud problem, that's when I fucking struggle. Because I got nothing to blame it on.
Yeah.
What would you do in that situation then?
Go train.
Yeah.
But I've always had a go-to place down the beach. And the pier. Don't know Two Sons pub in Talbot.
Yeah.
So my brother had that for a bit, and there's a picture outside of the pier and the loaders. On that pier is 3 silhouettes. I'm one of them.
Oh, really?
So me and my dad, I spent all my life fishing on that pier when my dad was alive, down there. So that's my sort of go-to. I remember when I just said about that, when I went to Lily's reading, that day, going down there for a walk, and I couldn't clear it. That's when I struggled, like, so I think, fuck, it's pub. You know what I mean? That's the last resort.
Yeah, that just kills it, like, temporarily, and then it comes back fucking
vicious circle. Vicious circle, like, yeah, you don't need to explain what's in that vicious circle.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been in that situation. I know people say about depression and stuff. It's like, I've had a good reason for every time I felt like shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So like I just said, if you can blame something, then you can deal with it, get an answer to it, and it's okay. Like, even if it is alcohol, even if it is partying, you can blame that sound. It's gonna win yourself out. But when everything is going okay and you've still got dark issues, dark problems, then you need to seek help. Yeah. And how I think of it, if you've got a bad back, muscle spasms, you go and see a physio. If you've got a cut, you go and see a nurse. Why don't people go and see a shrink when they got a bad head?
Yeah.
Right? So it's they're doctors for a reason. So if you need a doctor, go and see one. Yeah. Because it's not easy buttoning all up. That's men we do to me.
I think it's getting better, isn't it?
So I always say this, right? And when how many times have you been out with your friends? They come back from a fag and gone, fucking hell, mate, some guy just told me their fucking life story in a smoking shed. I think that's the most important thing ever. Because when I was going through all my problems and my issues, my best mate Dan, I got loads of friends. My friends are fucking amazing, right? I've got 5 of our best friends. But one of them, Dan, I remember telling him, he said, why haven't you told me? It's because when I tell you my problems, you're my best friend, you feel that you've got to do something about it. I said, I can't just tell you. I said, you feel that you care, that you've got to help me, and I don't need help, I just need to vent.
Yeah.
So me telling a stranger all my problems about Jack on a phone, on a live call, he don't give a fuck about him. He's going to put the phone down and go and cook his missus food. It's in his ear out the other. Like the fucking random guy in a smoking shed. Yeah. All I've done is vented my issues out, like I said about on paper and poetry. Vented my things out of my head into someone else. They're gone. These thoughts are gone now. Exactly the same as a random in a smoking shed who just poured his life out, told everyone, that guy's never going to see him again. He don't give a fuck. But he just unloaded all his problems. He walked off feeling fucking great.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, friends, so, you get opinions from friends as well. It's like
yes, and the closer friends feel that because you were going through it, they feel a duty to help you. And again, I love my friends, they always help me, but sometimes problem shared is a half, but I don't want to half my problems. I just want to offload it. And it's better to offload it to an empty shell sometimes than somebody actually cares about you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one, right? Like you said, it's just, I don't know, I think it is getting easier for people to talk though. Yeah. Like I'm more receptive to that kind of thing now. It might be because we're getting older, isn't it?
And without mentioning names, when I was going through, like somebody reached out to me this morning, said, something's off there, are you okay? I said, you know what, I've had a bad few days. We had a little chat, and just that little thing, how many people you can see in my inbox that I reach out to, that I can see little things in, little tales in, and who reach out to me as well. Yeah. And you wouldn't have that 5 years ago. That would never have happened, they've been too tough. No, I'm fine, why are you asking? No, but no, it's like, you know what, I've had a bad few days, thanks for checking, cheers mate, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know, you were one that kind of checked in with me a couple of times, I appreciate it.
And we got to. Because I seen tales in you that I was like, that was off, that I've done myself. Yeah. And I'm like, for me, the answer back then was, go on a piss, to go, you know, and then back in a vicious circle, back in the depression, or because I couldn't vent, couldn't have anyone to reach out to and talk to because I felt I couldn't offload it. Or if I told Jan, he'd think it was his problem, he'd have to help me. Yeah. So rather than somebody we're not that close with, just tell your problems to us out your head, it's gone. It's easy.
Yeah, I mean, and like you got a problem with other people, say, someone's, this shit's happening, but you don't know who those people are, so you got no, there's no kind of, I'm on his side, on this side. You got to think of it like this. You know, there's none of that. It's just we just get it out back.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And that's what it is. It's just getting it out of your head. And it's better to people who are never going to care about it again.
Yeah.
Because if I'm your best mate now, I'm worrying about you, so I feel it's my issue to help you. I'll offer it. And every day I'd be like, are you okay? And like, stop fucking asking me, am I okay? Like, and I hate that. Everything right now? So I'd tell you if it wasn't, fuck off. Like.
So I'm aware that, it's something big has happened to someone, asking if you're okay, it's like, I don't know, it's a way to
telling us closer to calm down, innit?
Exactly, yeah.
Calm them down. Wasn't fucking calm, was I?
Put the shell suit on.
So have you got any competitions coming up? What's the plan for you at the moment?
So, stupid fact, last year, 2024, first year I haven't competed since I started competing in 2016. So the first year I haven't competed was 2015. I entered a comp, I entered 4 comps, couldn't get a match. Obviously, being bigger and being brown belt, is not as many bigger brown belts in the country. So me and Batch are struggling to get matches.
Yeah.
My goal was always Polaris. My like I said about proving people wrong. I was like, remember you when I first started, only the best people grapple on Polaris, you never get Polaris. Like I've been offered to do it twice now, and I really, really wish I had time to commit, because I'm not the type of person to go into anything. I know I can win, and half-hearted. But all right, they got this Anthony Saunders training with me up there now. He's won Euros a couple of times. He's very, very good. But again, me and him just training, I feel I can't give everything I should to win the match on Polaris. So unless I come home to work for a bit, which is a possibility soon, then I don't think I'm going to go for the big shows. I've still got a belt on Victory I need to defend, but whether I will or not, I don't know. But I do love competing. I'm the best version of myself when I'm in comp mode, when I'm any focus. I know I am, not just for me and Jits, but for my own life.
Yeah.
All right, dieting Glenn isn't a very good Glenn, but focus Glenn is a fucking dangerous Glenn.
Do you know, like it's mad that when you look at people like in boxing, say for example Tyson Fury, Ricky Hatton and stuff like that, they've got demons, do you mean? And like it's fine. Do you know when they go
they put a pair of pants on, to go on stage and fight somebody in front of millions, you can't be wired right anyway.
No, exactly, it's true, isn't it?
So there's got to be something not quite missing there. You know, so whether it be fucking on the spectrum, whether it be addiction problems, whether it be any demons, they're not going to be wired right anyway.
Exactly.
And if they are wired right, they're not going to be very fucking good.
No, it's I don't know. Boxing in that case has solved the problem for them that they can't live without them.
Exactly.
It's a healthy thing.
That's their fix, isn't it?
Yeah,
essentially. But it's a healthy fix.
It's not fucking cold, whatever. Do you mean?
So one thing, I'm glad you touched on this. I've never spoke about this before. So everyone knows about my history and how Jiu-Jitsu helped me, which for me is great. But you know, after fighting and after Jiu-Jitsu, there's a big hole that I feel no one talks about. When somebody goes from everything being about me, everything being about them, when you go from that to nothing and being you're in such a void, you can't train anymore, so you're injured, or you can't coach, you can't help people. You've gone from being everything about you, being the star, being this guy, to nothing. That's when addiction comes back in. That's when people turn, drink, party. I know a few people now who I know was finished and gone, and all they do is fucking drink. You know what I mean? And I think that's a fucking big subject that people need to help each other in, or need to reach out and get some sort of, not union, but fucking help for these people who are too afraid as men to ask and tell people.
Yeah. Well, I've been sober now for 3.5 years, something like that. Fully sober. I've been going to 12-step meetings for like 3.5 years, and it's the best thing I've ever done.
I think that will. I was going to do it this time, right? Because my kidneys and liver ain't great either, so it will be better for my health. But I enjoy the pint. I enjoy going with my friends, and I know my missus would love it if I give up full time, but. You know, it's something I enjoy a minute.
That's fine.
I haven't been out on a piss with my friends since my birthday last year, since October last year. But, you know, just I haven't had bad. Perhaps I could have dealt with it differently last week, my bad day, and go and drink a fucking 12 pints of Guinness. But
it's a social thing for me, I think, drinking. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you're tired to doing it every single day, I think that's a problem. But I don't know, there's different ways to look at it, don't it? Like, with me, you could look at me and say they've got a problem, because if I'm only going out with my mates when it's a big night out, I'm getting smashed, I can't remember anything, I blackout. That's a problem, do you mean?
So that's what my missus don't like, the fact that when I go out to get pissed, not to enjoy a pint.
Yeah.
If you two are watching a band I can watch a man drink squash, I can't enjoy just as much. But if I'm going out to get pissed, I'm pushing the pace, I'm getting smashed. Like, she don't justify it, she don't get that, you know what I mean?
Well, what I always say is when I used to go to drinking with the boys, I'd be with the boys, but I'd be drinking on my own.
Yeah.
Because all the boys would be drinking, like, you know, they'd have rounds, but then I'd be 2 or 3 ahead of them because I wanted to get fucked.
Yeah,
and so me and my friends, we big swiggers anyway. Big swiggers. Like, I mean, Franco come out with us once, and Franco come in round us, he drank shandy, and he still slept off early and phoned me the next day. He said, I got an hangover on shandy. He said, you boys are fucking animals. So, and I'll name them, Craig Cox and Dan Phillips. Yeah, 3 of us are massive drinkers.
I saw Craig in town, well, I knew him in school, I think
absolute monster.
After that night out. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah. A nice guy though, I started speaking to him in town for the first
one of my
time.
best mates, mate, absolutely. Yeah.
But you know what, you were saying about reaching out and stuff. So I started training Jiu-Jitsu and going to the gym last May, June time, like, do you mean? And because I normally go to a meeting every Wednesday. That's what I have done for the last 3 years. Because I was training, I have still been training like 4 or 5 times a week. I stopped going to the meeting because I thought, I don't need it, like, do you mean? And now, in the last couple of weeks, a friend of mine has come off the booze and he's doing really well. So I've started going back to the meetings to help support him.
Good, yeah.
Do you mean? And it's already made me fucking get back where I was, like.
Yeah.
Do you mean?
Okay.
Spiritually, mentally, I feel fucking back where I was.
Did you feel like you were slipping without days, eh?
Not slipping. Like I stayed sober, but I was letting stuff bother me. Do you mean?
Yeah,
Whereas like now, I'm just like fucking things are gonna happen, and you just gotta fucking.
I could do that because things bother. Like I struggle. Anything I may control that bothers me, then I can control it. I can change it. But things out of my control that bother me, I wish I could let them not.
Yeah.
Because this is nothing. But
that's what the 12
do.
meetings help for, like.
But I do like.
Yeah. The 12-step meetings will help that. Like the big book and all that really help. Like it makes sense. Like, do you mean when you read it? And just helping someone else who's struggling helps you stay sober and on track as well. Like,
it's like another network, isn't it? It's just a support network.
It's fellowship. Like.
You know, the Jiu-Jitsu people, a support network, your friends, a support network, the family support network.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
Like some people haven't got that, are they?
There's somebody in the gym who's sober as well who always reaches out to me and knows how the lifestyle it was and how so hard it is to go back down that route. But no, my missus helps me now. I never would know anyway. But Matthew was one of the boys always out all partying, and he's so switched on now and so helping progression in terms of helping people to. I think he's helped a few boys in the gym. Like,
is it?
Yeah.
But I'm glad I know now about yourself. Like, because like I know now to check in. Like,
yeah,
do you mean the same Matthew? Like, do you mean?
Yeah. Fuck off, man! Calm down.
It's when you don't get a text back. Then it's like, oh,
online 5 in the morning.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
No, but like for anyone who is listening and they are struggling, like there's like you said, man, there's help out there. Now. Do you mean psychiatrists?
Wasn't expecting us to go down this route. I got it.
Fine. No, but you want to go back.
But and another thing I'm massive on is Port Talbot. You spoke in your last podcast about Port Talbot. Port Talbot massively punches above its weight in every aspect.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And you said everyone calls it Port Toilet, and let them call it Port Toilet, but it's our little fucking hidden gem in it.
Yeah,
so I wrote a poem about Port Talbot. Have you come across that one?
I haven't.
And we turned it into a video, and that's on my Instagram. That's actually on mine, I think.
So what's your Instagram handle?
Glenn Sledge.
Glenn Sledge.
Double N.
Yeah,
but that's I wrote about the rugby players. So you look at Port Talbot, the sports stars like and at the moment chefs and cooks. How many fucking good eating places have we got now? I went to Jordana Spud Place first time Monday, been twice since.
Yeah.
Don't tell Dan he's PT. I'm tracking, right? But it's fucking stunning.
Yeah.
And I'm going to Burger Boys after with my lads, my both boys. Like so, we have got some banging. Like my brother's a brilliant chef as well, even though he fucking don't do his own stuff anymore. Like there's some absolutely amazing places to eat there.
I know.
Let's Eat the Bird, the fucking cake place, amazing. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So and then when we go to sports stars, we've got British Lions, we've got fucking superstar boxers. How many pro boxers in Port Talbot now? Like Jordan John, Conor McIntosh, Morgan McIntosh, Levi Griffiths. Some real high level boxers now.
Yeah.
Without again, shouldn't come up with such a small town like Port Talbot.
Yeah. It's just rich. It's just everyone's to the core. They know what quality is. Do you know what I mean?
They're either in a kitchen or a gym. And I don't mean cooking.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like it is like it's just everyone's got the right values and everyone's got the same values. You know,
full of morals. All right, every single town you walk through town at 2:00 in the afternoon, there's your zombies, there's your people who don't really represent the new town. Everywhere you go that. You go to fucking Bridgewater, where I remember working in Ingley Point. There's people falling out the cash point on push bike and stuff. And it's a lot worse than Port Talbot. You think Port Talbot's bad and Swansea's bad? It's everywhere, and you're never going. One thing at Port Talbot I haven't got, which is knife crime. You go to Jen, there's kids carrying knives. You go to Cardiff, it's full of knives, full of knife crimes. We haven't got that here yet, and I'm fucking glad of that.
I've heard a few stories of people like young like teenagers
starting to know, yeah. It's kind of sneaking in, and I think as older generation, we've got to instill in them. Fucking, it's not right, like.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
it's wild, isn't it?
I'd like to see a copper's view in terms of how much the knife crime, not knife crime, but people carrying knives has come up in the last couple of years. Because in comparison to Bridgend, I'd say Bridgend 10 years ago was kids carrying them, now they're actually using them. Where the link is from being carrying progression to actually being knife crime and kids using them, I'd like to see where we can stop it.
I don't know, like whether the stories I'm hearing about people like the younger kids town now is just the same as it's always been, because I've had a knife pulled on me in town, like on the way by the laundrette. And someone got stabbed in town years ago as well, didn't he? So it happens. Like, I don't know.
One of the guys I fought and took him town party and took him Johnny McKenna's. Next thing he's kicking off, so I sent him. I asked him to leave. Like, so I don't know what he said. Jumped in the car, goes outside. Taxi comes, puts his arm on me. Look, said you're a nice guy. He said, you beat me, yeah. He said, I only come out to shank you. He said, because you're a nice guy, I want all the best, mate. Jumped in the car, fuck off. I'm sitting there going, what the fuck just happened?
Wow. Fuck that.
Humans, like, fuck's sake.
But when I googled him, right, and he'd been down for knife crime, been down for stabbing somebody, and where he's from, that's normal. It's normal behaviour. When you're normalising behaviour and you come to a town like ours where you've never had it, it's like a shock aura. But back to him and his mates, so he's like, oh, why didn't you stab men? Fucking head.
It's weird, isn't it? Like if you offend me, I fucking stab you. Like, what the fuck does that sound like?
I'm a fucking absolute hater of normalised behaviour in a minute. Go on Netflix. How many programmes on Netflix? Okay, kids selling drugs, gangs and cheating. And when everyone's watching these programs and think, all this is normal behaviour, they're going to think it's normal and do it. Cheating is not normal, stabbing people is not normal, and kids running drugs around is not fucking normal behaviour. So if they really want to stop all this, for a start, pull all these programs off TV.
Yeah, media, with social media as well.
Because normalising any sort of behaviour, I think these youngsters think it's okay to think it's normal stuff. It's fucking not, like.
Yeah, they look up to things like that as well, don't they? Like the characters they see.
Yeah, especially if they, like, from an area where, like, this is quite, I don't know, impoverished, like, do you mean? And they think that that's the only route that they can go down, innit?
Yeah, it's like they want money, so you stories on them.
And even more so now with the main industry of Port Talbot, the heart of Port Talbot is starting to fucking dwindle in the steelworks. They think, I'll just work like my dad in the steelworks. Oh fuck, steelworks is going. Fuck.
Do you think it's actually fully going to go?
No.
No?
I hope not. There's the plans and structure, everything is just starting to come into force now. All the voluntary redundancies are happening now in March.
Yeah.
So the next 2 months is going to be a massive step in which way it goes. The arc furnaces are meant to be signed off or started soon. There's loads of other adjustments that needs to be put in place. That aside, ABP taking the harbour back is a massive for the town, because it's turning the harbour, what we know in the jetty, into a British port, which is massive for us. You're going to see a lot more traffic in Talbot and lorries and shit and deliveries and stuff. But that's a lot of jobs and a lot of financial support for Talbot. Yeah. Building the wind farms in the harbour and sending them out, that's going to take men and work. So, and that's kept in the wraps. That's happening. Like I spoke to when I was doing MMA, I become friends with a journalist called Lewis Smith, and he's a journalist now for Wales Online. Okay. And he said there's 3 other projects in Port Talbot as well. One of them is something to do with the cement works, which is in the steel works. It's nothing to do with Tata, but it's in there. And there's a big project there as well. So I'm not sure where that's going or what's happening there, but it's not all doom and gloom.
No, I know.
With that ABP taking over the port, then would that just be for like you said, like for goods and stuff? It wouldn't be like for travel. It would still be like trade.
Just a trade,
Yeah.
Trade post. There is a big massive right up my somewhere. I'll try and find the send you the link. That's interesting to know. And the drawings and stuff of the whole process to get that up and running. Loads of work, yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, Bet. Appreciate it.
That's us, isn't it?
Wrap it up there, yeah. Well, that's going to run out of battery soon, so
we chipped on a bit to me.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was nice. Really appreciate it. I've got anything you want to kind of say? Send anyone to?
I know I'm done and dusted now, but massive thanks to all my old sponsors, like Cam's Transport. I'm going to forget them all now. Cam's Transport, Hog Brothers, which is now Welsh Robes. Yeah, that's about it off the top of my head, I think.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
Ben. Appreciate it.
Cheers, boys.